going to spend a few minutes this morning talking about lead generation and how you can increase the quantity and the quality of those leads, because that's the conundrum, right? It's getting good leads and getting lots of those good leads. And so we're gonna talk for a few minutes about getting how to get both of those, because the reality is there's no shortage of paid lead gen sites out there. Here's just a couple of them, but there's many out there that you can pay, and you can pay for leads. And so having so many of these out there, it's difficult to know what you should be doing. Should you go through to all of them, part of them? And so we're going to talk about a few of them today. And I'm well aware that a lot of these sites have contractors have a love-hate relationship with a lot of these, But the reality is, if you want to grow, and I say if you want to grow, you need a pay-to-play. You're going to have to do a combination, maybe not all of them, but a combination of these sites in order to generate leads. And that's what we're seeing with most of the contractors, the big contractors that we work with, James Hardie contractors, is they are participating. They are involved with a number of these sites, paying for leads and doing that well. Now, they're not dependent on those exclusively. They have a lot of leads coming in from many different sources, from organic, from referrals, but they recognize that they, as I said, they have to pay to play and get a lot of those leads. And as I said, not all of these are equal. You're going to have to see which ones work best for you. One of the things I always suggest to contractors is that you just do a basic search, few searches around your area, and see which of these sites are really coming up for those services that your customers are looking for. And that's where I would start. If Home Advisor is very big in your area and they're number 1, 2 up in the organic results for people, then that may be a good option for you, or Yelp or Houzz or whatever the case is. The other thing is you've got to measure the performance history of each channel. We'll talk a little bit more about that to make sure you're getting some accurate data and knowing how these are performing and making decisions on that. And then the last one you should always our question is, are these leads exclusive to you, or do they send it to a pool of people? And then it's a race to the bottom type of thing. It's based on how many, the cheapest price. So yeah, this is just some of the paid lead gen sites. Obviously, there's a lot more out there from a traditional standpoint, but for time's sake today, we're just going to focus on a few of these. But before you jump in and say, all right, let's start, signing up or doing some of these paid sites, you're going to need to know this. You're going to need to figure out for yourself, what is the maximum allowable lead cost per service that you're willing to spend? Because if you don't have an idea on what this number is, it's really a guessing game of, is that going to be producing for you? And I say per service because obviously if you do a number of different services, these are going to be different amounts. It's not just per customer. How much are you willing to pay for a siding customer, a window customer, a roofing customer? What is that customer worth to you? Or another way, as other people like to put it, is what is their lifetime value? If again, you have a number of different services or there's recurring services in there, what is that lifetime value of getting that customer? Because when you know that amount, when you know that maximum amount, it helps you, as you're advertising, to see how those are doing. Obviously, we want to pay the least amount for leads. That's the goal. But knowing what the maximum is, what you're willing to pay, really does help you. But that's where you need to start. You need to have that number before you start. And then as you go into these paid channels, you need to work out what the return on investment is for each source. So for example, a source being Facebook ads. When you pay to do Facebook ads, you're going to have to do that work to say, is this paid off? Did the sale that I got from these ads pay for these ads, pay for itself? And one of the things is the more you kind of do this and you evaluate afterwards, it takes work. It takes your team to really be able to connect the dots and close the loop to know if this is the case. Because, one of the big things is when you ask customers, hey, how did you find us? Oh, I found you on Google, or even worse, I found you on the internet. What does that mean? And so it's important that in order to kind of close that loop, you're going to need to know the exact source, the exact tracking. Tracking those leads is critical to be able to know if you have a return on investment.